This is a reading for you, Leo, Sun, Moon, and Risings for the month of February 2025. And you're going to see a bit of a big turnaround in your earnings and your money for your career matters, but also maybe an intense desire to really launch into some longer range goals and plans that you have had on the back burner for several months. And what I love also about this month is a strong focus on chunks of money that you're not earning directly, being highly likely to be coming your way at some point in the month ahead. So we're going to talk in detail about how this looks for your sign, and I'm going to bring you through a chronological look at the month. And if you're listening for your sun sign, it's things to do with your career and purpose, the rising sign, the avatar character you play in this game of life, the simulation. You can listen to that because it's going to be kind of like everything about you. And then, of course, the moon sign can be how you feel and think about your life, but your moon sign can also be about your home and things to do with where you live. Okay, so let's get started. Number one, if you're new to my channel, welcome. My name is Lori Lothian. I'm using the Western Tropical Zodiac full sign houses, and I do love those fixed stars and minor asteroids. And I got an idea that I'm here to help you, use astrology to navigate your life, to time your life, and hopefully use it in the spirit of general astrology. This is not a personal reading. In the month ahead, we are going to start by talking about your story in particular, because you have, as a Leo rising, a very fortunate thing going on. Jupiter is especially important for you this month because he'll head direct early February in a sign of Gemini, but in a house in your chart that's called the house of his joy. So when Jupiter is in this house, the 11th house of good spirit, the joy factor kicks in big time, Leos. It's like he's so ready to go. He's so eager to get started on something, bringing you more career gains, bringing you more friendship circles and groups of belonging, adding to your earnings and income and resources and success in your career. So we're going to break it down month in a detailed chronological thing, but that's the big story for you this month. And Jupiter retrograde, since October 9th, it's been a bit of a drag for you in some of those areas. Now he's ready to lunge forward in the house of his joy. Let's start off by talking about February 1st. And that's going to be, as we come into the month, February 1st to the 3rd, Venus coming into a conjunction with Neptune. Let me show you the sky and we'll spin the wheel together for those of you who like this kind of visual astrology. So what I want to tell you is that Venus is coming into this connection or conjunction here to the planet Neptune, and it will be a pretty exact, like right on the mark, so to speak. Oops, we got to go by a day on the 2nd. So here we are on the 2nd, and you can see she's at 28 degrees. The North Node's at 28 degrees, and Neptune's at 28 degrees. This triple conjunction is extremely rare. And when you add Saturn there, it's even rarer. But the gist of it is this: she's just broken free, liberate, of what I call a malefic enclosure. And it could have felt like things in your life to do with your finances, taxes, banking, mortgages, credit card debt, shared monies with your spouse. Those kinds of monies inheritances may have been feeling constricted or constrained, or there was some uncertainty about that. But now that she's free of being squished between the North Node and Saturn, it's likely that there's going to be a feeling of breakthrough or like acceleration or freedom around February 2nd, 3rd, as she moves outside of the enclosure. In general, this energy of Venus in your 8th house is good for your money. It's really good for anything to do with shared monies with others. I'm a shareholder in a stock. I share the resources with my marriage partner. I share alimony, spousal support, and divorce monies. I share inheritance funds with others in my family, for my dad or mom or uncle or aunt or whoever. So these resources that are not directly earned by you, unearned income, are really delightfully opened up by Venus. And she's going to be back here again because of retrogradation. And she's not completely done with your Pisces story until like the beginning of May, probably. And the first week of April and the 24th of April, those are also times in which she's kind of squished up between Saturn and the North Node. And to advise you, I wouldn't want to make any solid decisions about my long range money, like your investment, your 401k. Even maybe you'd find it just difficult to do that anyway, or even difficult to like secure a mortgage or pay for something. It's just not probably the ideal time. It may not even be something you would try. Like anyway, you go, oh, it feels too hard right now to file my taxes first week of April, or to, try to buy that home or get that mortgage or refinance that credit card. So try not to do that the first week of April, April 24th, and certainly this enclosure here started on the 20th of January and does not finish until February the 2nd. What I also want to mention is that as this malefic freedom breaking energy is going on. Mercury also forms a trine to Jupiter. And Mercury is the guy who's full of all the news that's fit to print. And he's flowing to Jupiter in your 11th house, who's got his joy factor going on. And that's around February 3rd. You'll feel it the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. What I like about that is Jupiter's strength. He's going to be heading direct on the 4th. So on the exact day of this, pretty well exact day of this, trine between Mercury in your 7th house of marriage and business contracts, public audience and marketplace, and Jupiter in the house of friends, colleagues, and career gains. This is not exactly a Jupiter ready to bounce forward, but he's getting instructions from Mercury. So look for things around, the 2nd, the 3rd that may have to do with contracts, agreements, legal documentation, or things to do with your long-term love relationship and friendships intersecting in a positive, fortunate, and commercially viable way. And it's actually really good for signing a new job contract or getting a new job or something like that. And as we look into the 4th, we still see this flowing, but now Jupiter is direct. So information news on the 3rd, 2nd, 3rd, that bounds forward on the 4th to do with the themes I've just covered. It's quite a lovely, lovely story. And maybe your significant other or marriage type partner is the one also having this kind of breakthrough energy. It could very well be that as well. Now I'm just going to stop the share briefly, and I'll be right back. So the next thing I want to talk about as we move forward in the month of February is as we get into around the 6th of February to the 8th, and Venus will be flowing to Pluto. And sometimes a very powerful wealth yoga could bring money. But in your case, this Venus, and she's talking to Pluto here, could also be very powerful, power of love, love of power themes here to do with a deeper layer of intimacy and connection in a long-term committed love relationship, breaking free. Otherwise, even a possibility for a powerful resolution of a difficult legal matter with somebody, and or successfully being able to take a trip or plan a trip to a far off distant shore, likely connected to somebody important to you, whether that's your spouse or just a very significant relationship person in your life. And the 9th house is also very much connected to publications, including book publishing. And you may even, if you're that type of Leo, get into some kind of publication success story or publications deal. You never know. One thing about Venus in the 9th house is that she is a luck goddess in a luck house. And so there's a lot of luck going on up at that 9th house. And so luck coming from Venus, a lucky opportunity for travel, higher education, skills-based, higher education, maybe even a lucky break to do with a father figure. So keep it in mind. It's a nice little sweet spot in your sky, February 6th to the 8th, and we'll see what happens. And Venus is bringing the luck the best she can. She's like, but she does rule your house of travel. So some of you may have a travel opportunity. That's for sure. We also notice that Saturn from February the 6th all the way through to the 12th and Mars will end up trining each other. And this is also extremely unusual for such a duration. And it's because of Mars retrograde. He's slowing down to turn around. And we'll be talking about that shortly. With Jupiter now going direct on February the 4th. And don't forget, he was retrograde since October 9th. So you've got all this momentum now. We're already at February, 6th to the 12th. You've got this momentum for career gains, for new social circles and success, for raises and promotions and greater recognition in your career, this kind of stuff. This is now steaming forward. It was pausing out on October 9th till now. Jupiter will leave this part of your sky, the house of great gains and career luck. He'll leave this part of your sky on June the 9th. And just back it up a bit, he arrived there the 3rd week of May 2024. So you might have noticed you've had some luck in your career matters, or good luck with friends, or expansion with your friendship circles, a real activation of hopes, dreams, and wishes coming true for you since May of 24, ending June 9th of 25. And this forward momentum is spring loaded. So while you're having all this energy of career, ambition, success, and reward, perhaps, for example, picking up steam from February 4th onward, in the backdrop, we see this story as well. From February 9th, 6th to the 12th, Mars and Saturn say working hard and working diligently and really focusing on something with determination and patience and endurance. But it's also very interesting houses. Mars is in backroom deals and negotiations, or hidden places, or solitude and solitary time, sometimes foreign countries to travel to. And he's talking to Saturn in that taxes and other people's money sky. So I think you're doing something really like an endurance of diligence and work behind the scenes to shore up the way you approach your money when it comes to inheritances, shared resources with spouses, investment monies and stuff. So it could be very much a story about what you're doing in the backroom deals, but also Mars likes to spend money sometimes, and he's in the house of expenditures, but you may be getting control of some expenditures and reining it in order to keep more of the long-term money makes money eighth house active in a successful way. You might even be looking at between the 6th and the 11th, living off of money that you take out of retirement plans, investment accounts, or even some inheritance money, and using that instead of working so hard. There may be a decision-making process, which Mars is in charge of, coming here so that you can have some downtime in your life. That's one way it could work out, Leos. Now, one thing I'll say about this window of time, there's a little magic in the middle on the February 9th, Mercury conjunction to the sun, also sometimes called a cazimi. Mercury will be co-joining the sun. Let's draw ourselves forward to the cazimi. Here he is at 21 degrees in your 7th house of relationships, audience, marketplace, clients, the people you serve, in your business. Like, here's my product, here's my offer, they're the public, they're your public, but it's also business partners, it's also long-term love partners, and there's a reset button. Something new is trying to happen here. You want to begin anew, and over the 6 weeks that follows this March 9th, there may be a reset in a long-term love relationship or an ending, because you have Pluto here, and some of you may be getting ready to exit that relationship, perhaps. We don't know. But this reset button here, also, this cazimi, is particularly auspicious because it flows to Uranus in Taurus in your 10th house and can bring an exciting, sudden, illuminating surprise connected to your career and related to contracts, agreements, and negotiations, or a change in your reputation status, like married, single, divorced, whatever, that is sudden and exciting, or sudden and shocking, or sudden and unexpected. But it's a Mercury in the heart of the sun reset button, and it's going to ultimately be very good for you. So don't resist it. The sun is the Lord of your sign. The sun is giving Mercury divine download instructions on how to act on your behalf. And by the way, Mercury also is in charge of your 11th house of earnings and gains from your career. And this could be some new arrangement with your employer, or a new job, or a new direction in your work that's going to bring you greater Jupiter gains, prosperity in your work and career, which what Jupiter is trying is at his hardest to do. The 9th, the cazimi on the 9th is building up on the 8th and waning on the 10th, when you really see it there on the 9th. There is a full moon coming up in Leo at 24 degrees on February the 12th. Leo is you. You are starting a fulfillment of something. You're going to open up and ripen like the buds on the rose into some seed you planted about 6 months earlier, connected to themes of selfhood. What do you want? If it's your sun, it's career themes. Moon, it's maybe about your home. And if it's your home needs and where you want to live, and if it's your Leo rising, it's anything and everything about you. I wonder here if you're kind of like, full light, full moon, full expression coming up. Let's move the chart here. It's sometimes a fulfillment so that you can finish something, like a fulfilling to complete. Let's put it that way. And so the moon will be 24 degrees. It's not going to show it here, but trust me, the moon will be here at 24 degrees. And you might notice that it creates a T-square to Algol. Algol, again, is the star here with Uranus, the shock, the surprise, the unexpected developments. What kind of unexpected developments? I have no idea. That's why it's unexpected. But there looks like some changes in relationship to others and your career all at once, or both of those. And in the course of the month that follows, you're the one with a full moon, and it's shining into you, and full moons bring completion. So some of you Leos might be thinking of completing a career, completing a job, and completing a relationship. All of those are possible, meaning ending, of course, and that's all right. But there's something about swift movement, exciting or unexpected developments in all of those areas that can show up within a month after the moon on February 12th, and tends that these moons do roll out for up to 6 months after as well. But more likely, the surprising or exciting or shocking stuff is showing up more quickly after the lunation itself on February the 12th. Now, as we move forward, we come into a void. I'm not counting the moon when I do my readings here, so just pretend you don't see it. Because once we move into around February the 13th, all the way through until about the 19th, we end up in a pocket of sky that's like no cell phone reception. It's extremely quiet. And if I take the moon out there, you'll see what I mean. The moon is making it look like there's a lot going on. And if I wasn't focused exclusively on the nodes of fate. So it's the idea that the planets are grabbers, that they move us around on the game board of life and we are stuck, like, the gods are dicking with us, right? And so when there's nothing in the sky, no major aspects forming, this is a nice little lull, the doldrums in the sea, where you can recalibrate, get in touch with yourself, figure out what you actually want, take a deep breath. And it's a nice time. It's a really busy time, February 13th to the 19th, where you can take a little bit of a rest and just settle in. And, the sun is your ruler, and the sun will be moving into the Pisces part of the sky. And that's going to mean that some of the rest will be over here. Some of the rest will be about the relationship, 13th, 14th, 15th. And then you're going to kind of rest, get easier into resting easy about taxes and long-term monies and financial matters that involve your spouse's money or inheritances. That's where the chill energy is as well as you move towards the 18th, 19th. But you'll start to see that you're moving into a lot of action in that 8th house. So we're going to get to that. But I'd say the 13th to the 19th could be a kind of the calm after the storm, not before. If you have a storm in a marriage partnership, for example, this would be the lull, the calm. Take cue with your inner life. What do you really want in that relationship? Is it right for you? And if it's about your work and career, you finally sealed a deal, the job is on the way, but you don't start for 2 weeks or something. You've got some time off. So there's something nice about the sky at that time. You may take a break from clients. Again, we're talking about the 13th to the 19th. When we move forward to February 20th, Mercury is squaring Jupiter. And Jupiter is always going to bring Santa Claus goodie bags, even if he's in a sign of difficulty, which he is. And so in essence, then you might think, oh, what could he bring me in my 11th house of great gains? It's also connected to matters in my 8th house of chunky money. It could be a sign-on bonus, a severance package for work, leaving a job. It could be something to do with some kind of money coming from a sibling, one older than you. It could be that really hit your pocketbook in a good way, and it could be an investment that takes off. It could be something to do with a prosperity moment through a commercial enterprise or a new idea. You could have a new idea about an investment structure, a new way to structure your finances, set Saturn, new way to do your bookkeeping that's going to bring greater bounty and prosperity to you, especially from your career. So it can be, career and long range monies, Good news, though. It feels like good news about finances and career gains and career monies all sort of swirling together right here. On February 20th, and also studying, I should have said that Mercury loves to learn, and he's in the house of occult mysteries. He's flowing to teacher Jupiter. It could be some positive aspect about getting enrolled in an occult study of some sort, tarot, numerology, astrology, with a very well-known celebrity teacher or something like that, February 20th. February 23rd, Mercury will trine Mars, and Mercury and Mars together are very good for business. And so business success kind of vibe. So on February 23rd, Mercury at 17 degrees, Mars at 17 degrees. Mars is moving towards Mercury. Mercury's moving towards Mars. This makes this like a eager union of the two planets in a flowing lucky aspect called a trine. Lucky breaks regarding commercial success, business success, especially if you do business in foreign lands, foreign shores, offshore clients, international borderless income and revenue through PayPal and Stripe and all of that kind of stuff, then you might be having a nice little sweet spot. Mercury, though, can be the idea. Mercury can be the communication or the project that you're working on as well. And this is about some kind of momentum and movement forward. Now, you've got Mars retrograde until February 23rd. And that's exactly the time that Mercury is flowing to him. And it's literally the same day. So it's like Mercury says, I got something for you to do. It's a project. It's either about money, financial monies, inheritances, spousal support, investment money, loans, mortgages, and things like that. It's something like that, says Mercury, or occult mystery studies. And then I'm going to give it to you, Mars, to move forward on it. And then Mars says, okay. And he turns around and he moves forward. And when he moves forward, he's heading through Cancer, and he'll be in the sign of Cancer by the way, until about the 17th of April. So he's going to ply your 12th house waters, creating some project more likely, because this is what you do behind the scenes. Looks like with is that flow to Saturn, you're going to have some kind of new direction you want to take with money and business or earnings, success. And there may be something you're figuring out behind the scenes that you're really working on. This is a positive flow. And then Mars will move into your sign for 2 months, be in Leo for mid-April to mid-June. And then you're going to go ahead and you're like, bang on, you're full of fire, passion, you're going for it. And it's almost good advice to say, don't really try to strive for massive career breakthrough success or projects you want to take off for financial gain, or don't overstress it. You're really in a backroom deals and negotiations or solitude to get things up and running through till mid-April. And then mid-April to mid-June, you are game on and you know what you want and you're ready to go for it. So yeah, with a Mars moving direct for 2 months in your sign. Well, what about February 25th? Mercury will conjunct Saturn. Mercury and Saturn together, it can be information that is constricted or communication that is hard, but because it's it's a mute sign and it's a hidden house, there could be some difficult news connected to a secret, a disclosure, especially in a relationship, something to do with having to put some structure and form to something contractual and something you wish to communicate, and to really sit down and like build a structure around it. For example, incorporating would be very Saturn, Mercury, and then Mars trining over there. So it could just be very like practical, or getting a new accountant to look at the books, or a new financial structure for your investments. But it's definitely fleeting, but it's a signature that only happens like 3 times every 30 years. So you're really trying to structure your money in some solid way with ideas, communications, accounting, contracts, agreements, and bookkeeping, etc. On the other hand, if it feels hard, it could be like, oh my God, I just found out that, my credit card company won't reduce the interest rate like I asked them, or the mortgage is going to be increasing and I have to pay a higher interest rate. I mean, because Saturn is what can feel hard and Mercury is new. So some hard news maybe about the money story there on February 25th, give or take a day before and after. On February the 27th, Mercury will sextile Uranus. Mercury and Uranus together are surprising news. So we have kind of hard news on February 25th and surprising or exciting news on February 27th. So Uranus is still at the top of your sky. He's been destabilizing your career, giving you different kinds of careers, kind of moving you all over the career and reputation game board since 2018. And this is with that intense star nearby, Algol, for like, it is a well star. So there is that. And so we want to look at the positive side. Mercury in the house of chunky money, and Algol, career, wealth, surprises, looks like it's coming through on the 27th. So whatever is holding you up on February 24th, 25th, 26th, Mercury, Saturn, may then break free and break through in some good news on February 27th. I would almost tie it together like, after a lot of hard work on something to do with your money and a lot of consideration, then you have to put it into a form or a structure and make it happen. And then you're going to have a break free, breakthrough energy. But because Uranus is in your 10th house, the break free, breakthrough could definitely connect to work environments as well. There is a new moon at 9 degrees of Pisces. The new moon at 9 degrees of Pisces is happening in your 8th house. And you notice there's a lot of action here. That's very rare. There's a lot of focus on either occult mysteries, magic, and study, inheritances, spousal support, shared resources, investments, and credit cards, and all that. Such a focus is tilting the sky that way. And Venus, as I said, will be enclosed here the first week of April. She'll be enclosed here in a difficult circumstance on the 24th of April. You're working this angle. Something good wants to happen here, but it requires realism, constraint, structure, form. But you want to expand. Your North Node is expanding your occult mystery magic understanding. I talk to dead people, expanding your ability to grow your financial wellness in worldly ways that don't require you to have a day job kind of vibe. And that's going to be true. Like even ad revenue on YouTube or royalty income from a book publishing deal. These are the kinds of things that happen with the 8th house, but also, of course, inheritances. And with Mars as a ruler of your 4th house in the house of hospitals, just for some of you, this whole month of February could end up looking like an opportunity for some money from a relative in a hospital from your family system. Just saying, like maybe they're on their way out, maybe they're, getting ready to go, and you find out that you're going to be featured a starring role in the dispensation of the inheritance assets or something. All right, so that's what we've got for you. I hope that is useful. And one thing I didn't mention is that Mercury's changing signs. So January 28th to February 13th, he's in Aquarius, and then February 14th to March 3rd, he's in your chunky money house. It means for the first half of the month, you're really focused on communications with your audience, client, marketplace, and or your significant other. And on the second half of the month, you're really focused on your money. And it will be tax season. So February 14th to March 3rd, you're maybe really diving deeply into structures around taxation and your long-range money and your investments and figuring out what to do. So there's that as well. All right. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I forgot to tell you that I have a Venus class coming up. I think I did. We're going to do the Venus Breaks free class. Look in the description box below. There's a sign up link. We're also going to be talking about, yeah, will I have that ready by then, the link? I think I will. But if not, there's a waitlist link to get you started. And we're also going to be talking about, I should have mentioned, I should have mentioned that my 2025 individual sign videos and sale ends end of January are still for sale. You can get your own sign and you can get your, the whole bundle, 2-hour videos, downloadable video, downloadable audio, downloadable PDF, and secret linked video to watch on my unlisted YouTube. That's your predictions for 2025. And it's a quarterly forecast taking you through. And it's so cheap, so cheap. So, and it's on sale 25% off. So go check it out below. Thanks. And I'll see you guys on the next set of videos. Oops, I had to stop the share. I have to end the video.